I think the problem is you can never pretend that you know when you don't know. And it's always gutsy to come out and say, listen, I don't know. I mean, look, right now, Jensen Huang's with the president.
In this video, Jim Cramer addresses the current challenges and uncertainties facing Nvidia, focusing on the need for clearer communication from CEO Jensen Huang amid competitive pressures and regulatory concerns. Cramer highlights the recent punitive market reactions and the significance of Nvidia's position in selling chips to various countries, especially given the shifting political landscape. Jim acknowledges Nvidia's strong competitive edge, but stresses that upcoming statements from major tech players like Amazon and Google could reshape investor sentiment.
I'm convinced that there is no backdoor from Singapore. There isn't, because I think that they are able to account for all those. So let's go back to, and by the way, I know that Jensen Huang hates Moore's Law, thinks it's dead. But I think the biggest issue is we got through the hurdle of Meta saying they need it. We know that Oracle needs it without a problem. We absolutely got that. We know that Apple wants anything it can get, and they're a free rider. They'll be good. But we know that Microsoft needs more. But what we don't know is Amazon. And next week, Amazon, what happens if Amazon says, it plays hardball and says, you know what, we don't need as many? Then you have this plummet, and I am concerned about that. Otherwise, look, I think that DeepSeek's playing checkers, and these guys are playing grandmaster chess. Just so you know, you cannot use. By the way, the reliability of DeepSeek is ridiculous. I don't know why anyone thinks it's any good. We were doing some stuff putting in Winston 1984, and first it was talking about how he was told to dissemble in favor of the government, and then it took that right away. But I will say, look, what can DeepSeek not do that Jensen knows that Nvidia can do? Multimodal memory, spatial intelligence, physical actuators, vision, and touch. So you can't use it for robots, and you can't use it for self-drive. So what the hell good is it? So anyway, it's good and bad. But boy, do I ever want to hear from Amazon. I want to hear from Google too before I just say, hey, you know what? We're home free.
So is it then overstating it to say that they have Nvidia, being the they, have gone from in the driver's seat to on the defensive? I suppose both can be true. I mean, they are still in the driver's seat. Look, we didn't even mention OpenAI, the fact that they're doing this huge raise at such an incredible valuation. Where are they going to go with the money to buy what they need? Probably Nvidia.
Right. Well, absolutely. You go to Nvidia. I think that, and I used to work very close with Stephanie, and we would say, well, you know, when someone doesn't have anything to say, you can't necessarily attribute that it's good. And there are many things you can say, and we've all had many different guests during quiet period. And they didn't reveal the numbers, but they gave you a sense of what's going on. Alex Karp is quiet period. He's reporting on Monday. And he just did this incredibly long interview with Sarah. And you can say, well, if he can talk like that and talk about broader themes of Palantir, then Jensen should be able to talk about it in a situation where obviously his stock has had a material move.
So you're saying the silence is deafening to
I think
you
silence
on Nvidia's
is not
part. Now,
golden.
maybe Jensen Huang uses the appearance at the White House today. As I said, I mean, obviously in these circumstances, there are cameras there. We're going to have a stakeout camera. Right. And maybe he comes to the camera and he addresses some of the questions from our producer or reporter who might be on site. We'll have to wait and see. But you own the Amazons of the world that Jim wants to hear from, and you're going to hear next week from that company?
Yeah, I think they're going to spend more money. And by the way, Jim, OpenAI, the rumor is they're actually going to use Broadcom's custom.
Well, that's the custom chips, but Broadcom's going up.
Right, so they'll use both.
Well, and we know, by the way, that Amazon likes custom because it's cheaper.
That's right.
I know that Meta does everything because Hock Tan's on the board of Meta, and he's the CEO of.
Stop spending them.
No,
you know what I mean?
No, but I'm just saying.
Maybe a little less than what they were going to, but I can't imagine that they would They have to keep up with the rest of the industry to be leaders.
Oh, they have to spend. I'm just saying, what happens if they're caged?
Yeah.
Why don't they why don't they bargain to get the best price, even though they need everyone? I think Nvidia is one of the best companies in the world. That's not changed. But I do say that this is a thicket. I'd like to hear that even if Amazon walked away, we don't know. Remember that demand was insane and demand was crazy? I just want to hear that.
That's right, and that's what Jensen said.
I want to hear it again. Is that too big?
And
is that too much to ask?
I think that was at the Communicopia conference out in San Francisco.
He does have he has this huge conference in March. But look, am I nervous? If you're not nervous and a stock has that kind of move, I don't know if you're a good manager.
And what do you make of the move from Jim to trim some of his position? Because he's I mean, admittedly, a little nervs about where we are.
Remember, that's what we do.
But bear in mind, it's, you take Nvidia. I don't have to tell you this. It's up threefold in 15 months. I'd be a fool not to. Give me a second here.
No, I'm saying this is why you're a manager.
Exactly. It's risk management. But can I just point something out that I think is important? Nvidia, Microsoft, they don't exist in a vacuum. You started, Scott. Your first question was, does the market have jitters? And I said only a sector does. Look, Microsoft, and I want your opinion on this, Microsoft and Nvidia are down on the year. The market, the S&P 500 is up. Is it possible, Jimmy, that maybe the market broadening can happen without a disaster, right? Because everybody says that concentration of the top 10 names, it usually comes down with the market having a wipeout. Is it possible that maybe we get the broadening without an overall disaster?
I had an existential crisis this week. I said to my wife, I believe I missed a 10-bagger in Brinker, which is Chili's, because I've been so concerned about Nvidia. And that makes me a manager who sucks. And she goes, I think that's a little too strong.
I think that's strong, too. I think it's too strong.
Well, like I said, it was existential for a second. But, you can't do it. You can't just say, I'm going to focus on Nvidia, and I'm going to miss a 10-bagger because I'm a good manager. No, you're not. So that's what's at stake.
Give me just